Hey, welcome to Reset by Sandy. I'm Sandy Gard. I'm an addiction recovery coach and an energy healer. And I mostly talk about addiction recovery on this channel. I have been chatting about values quite a bit in some videos recently, and I'm doing the same today. So I'm feeling prompted to do that after picking up this book from the library called The Happiness Trap. And it's an illustrated version of the larger book by Russ Harris, and this one is co-authored by a person named Bev Aisbett, if I'm saying that person's name correctly. I thought it might be helpful chatting about this today in particular because we're going into Easter weekend. I know that can spark anxiety for a number of us for different reasons, but I truly believe that emotion regulation is absolutely key in terms of managing addictive substances and behaviors. So I'm accessing this today in hopes that maybe we can circumvent or move away from that anxiety as we move into Easter weekend. Either that, or maybe this will show up as a valuable some valuable questions for Easter weekend if you have extra time on your hands and you don't have time with family and such. So let's get into it here. I'm going to focus on just a couple of pages in here, and I'm going to kind of move backwards in the book, if I can put it this way. So I'm starting with this exercise. It's just a little prompt saying, imagine that you're 80 years old. Now finish the following sentences. I spent too much time worrying about. I spent too little time doing things such as. And if I could go back in time, I would. So each of us are going to have different answers for that, obviously. But I'm pretty sure most of us who tap into this channel certainly will not regret giving up our addictive substances and behaviors. And I'm pretty sure we don't want to reach that 80-year-old mark if maybe you're there now. But I'm pretty sure most of us don't want to get to that age and still be challenged with substances and behaviors to a great degree, at least, because quality of life matters, right? So I'm going to just switch back here a little bit, a couple of pages. And in terms of the values, here are some questions that you can ponder either this week or this weekend or whenever it works for you. Whenever you find this video, there's going to be value at any time. So yeah, I'm looking at this today through the lens of if we are tapping into our values, what's true to us, I'm presupposing that that helps us stay emotionally regulated. Because if we're always navigating through the lens of our values and what we value in life, we are less likely to be emotionally triggered because we're more in alignment. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it sure does for me. So as it says in the book, it's time to ask some big questions in order to clarify your values. What is deeply important to you? What sort of person do you want to be? What sort of relationships do you want to build? If you weren't struggling with feelings and avoiding fears, what would you channel your time and energy into doing? So those are some pretty deep questions, and they're, for the most part, it's not maybe something that you can answer on the fly. Maybe you can on the surface, but I'm going to invite you to do some journaling around that or some deeper contemplation. Yeah, so I feel like if we are aligning with those values, we will be emotionally regulated more often in terms of, for example, what is deeply important to you. And if we're more emotionally regulated more often, there's less urges and cravings. Let me know in the comments if that makes sense to you. It's making it sound too simple, probably, but to some degree, it actually is really simple. So, values, just for clarity, in case you haven't seen my other videos, and I'll link at least one of them. Values are our heart's deepest desires for how we want to behave and what we stand for in life. How we want to treat ourselves, others, and the world around us. So if we value self-care, we will take action to take care of ourselves better. If we value family and our connections, it should follow that we treat them with respect and perhaps get drunk and abusive less often, or however it's showing up. I mean, let's face it. I know that alcohol triggers anger in a lot of people, and that's physiological to a degree because alcohol affects your liver, and that can cause the anger response. I have a video about that too. I'll link you that in. So this video may seem a little bit more serious than some of mine, but I think it's a serious topic, and I believe that there is value in going deeper on this. The other part of emotion regulation that I want to talk about today is that I am certified in what's known as the soul integration process. So my experience of being facilitated in experiencing the soul integration process, I am more often emotionally regulated than I used to be. So the idea behind it is we're really getting to the root of a lot of our emotional triggers in a different way than what I've, talked about today. So bringing in a lot of different tools and methods is valuable. But just briefly, soul integration can be thought of as like inner child healing or soul retrieval, but through a multidimensional lens, which means it includes past lives that are affecting us now. Maybe our inner children from past lives, for example, our younger selves. So that's another whole video. Certainly reach out to me if you're interested in that. We're right at the end of the month. It's still the last 2 days where you can use the coupon RESET, RESET, in capital letters on my website and save 25% off services. So get on that if you're interested. And I will see you next Wednesday. Have a nice holiday weekend. Take care. If you celebrate. Either way, have a nice weekend. Take care.